I like to look at working out sort of like investing. When you work out and you strength train, you're essentially investing in certain parts of your body. You're investing time, right? You're investing time, you're investing effort, you're investing energy. And that shit fucking hurts. It's painful. It's some of us get a high from it. Other days it's a fucking drudgery because the day might suck for whatever reason. And you think about what is going to give you the highest bang for buck return on money on investment. Or in this case, for building muscle, return on performance investment. So if you're going to spend the time and effort and fucking blood, sweat, and tears, bust your ass doing an exercise or a movement or working a certain muscle, what is the best way for you to do so? Which exercises are they? That's kind of what stock options are, or that's kind of what options mean when you talk about investing, is that you're trying to pick the best investment strategy when working out. And essentially, what is your goal? So like if you don't, I mean, in money and making money, there's a lot of different goals, right? You know, some people want to make cash and have money to spend, kind of get a consistent cash flow. Some people want to kind of invest so that they can keep building their wealth, so that they can retire early or have a nest egg or whatever it may be. It could be to make a lot of cash and reinvest it again. Now, the analogy will get a little fuzzy as I talk more about this, but the idea is that when you invest time and you invest money, think about money as really energy, right? And the time you spend in the gym. The exercises that's going to actually give you the most time on investment is going to be compound exercises. Compound exercise is what builds mass, it's what builds strength, and what builds your overall body. This is the reason why that you should always do squats. They're a big return on investment. They have a big bang for buck. They work your entire body. They strengthen your mental capacity. They work on your conditioning. They work on your leg strength. They work on your core strength. They work on a lot of things. And people don't like doing them because they're fucking hard. They require a lot of time. They require a lot of effort. And they take away from other parts of your body that you may want to improve. So this is kind of why it's important that you pick the right strategy. And then think about the strategy of investing as a strategy in programming. Pick the right program. Pick the right coach or investment coach, if you want to look at, or think of it as a personal trainer or a strength coach as someone that is basically choosing what you should do for the best time that you have. Essentially, if you have 3 or 4 hours of workout per week, your trainer or coach is supposed to help you guide you through that. If you are investing money, trying to make a lot of money and improve your investment portfolio, you're going to have different coaches, just like you'll have different coaches for training. Like if you're into CrossFit, powerlifting, let's say sports, you have a coach for, let's say baseball, and you're a pitcher, you'll have a pitching coach, you'll have like a head coach, you'll have a strength coach. You'll have different coaches for different purposes. And CrossFit is very diversified because there's a lot of different movements. You have a gymnastics coach, you may need a gymnastics coach, you may not. You know, there's different things you may need depending on what skill level you need to work on or what things you're lacking. And squats are probably the number one thing. People fucking hate doing them because people are fucking wusses. I mean, that's what it is. You know, I mean, no one likes doing them. You know, I'm a wuss about doing squats. I fucking hate doing bodyweight squats. I'll squat heavy weight, but I won't do bodyweight squats. Why? Because I fucking suck at them and I don't like doing them. And I'm being a wuss. And sometimes I do that. We all are weak in our mind at some point in our training. We are weak in our head when we train sometimes. And it's just kind of overcoming those obstacles that allow us to get to that next stage of building our portfolio, our body. Our body is like our portfolio. Think about your biceps and your triceps and your shoulders as kind of small muscle groups. They're important parts of your portfolio to kind of build a bigger, better, stronger version of yourself, build yourself, make yourself more resilient, tolerate stress, different factors. But if you really make them strong, your biceps, you make your triceps strong, and you work your shoulders really strong, just isolating those groups, they will account for about, I don't know, maybe 15%, maybe 10% of your portfolio. So that means that if you don't take care of doing the big compound move like squats, just say squats are like 50%. So even though you work your shoulders, your biceps, your triceps, you're only affecting about 10 to 15% of your portfolio, whereas if you work with squats, you're going to improve 50% of your portfolio. You got to think about that. When you work your chest, it's probably like 25%, 20%. It's a lot bigger encompassing point. Now, I know these numbers don't add up quite perfectly because there are other parts, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of kind of how money relates to training. It's because when you talk about money, Money is really about making the money work. And when you're trying to make your body work, you want to use that money as smart as possible when you're investing. When you're working your body, you want to work as smart as possible. Now, when you take high risks, think of risks as like doing things you're not skilled at. Like me, like recently trying to fuck with Olympic lifting, snatches, overhead squats, and doing this whole CrossFit thing, you know? I'm taking a risk because this is stuff I'm not good at, and I can fucking hurt myself because I'm not trained at it. But if I take a right approach and I invest the right amount of time in it, I'll be okay. So that's kind of what it is. You know, if I'm trying to fucking crush a score on some exercise that I've done only like a dozen of times, there's a good chance I'm gonna fucking get hurt. But if I just be cautious with the way I invest my time into the CrossFit movements for the CrossFit Open, I'll benefit from it. And in this case, it's really mainly conditioning. So it's like picking that right kind of amount. If you don't spend the time investing in risky things, you'll never have that huge chance of upside. Stocks that are more volatile, they go up and down, like Facebook or, I don't know, Google's kind of, maybe Google moves around a lot too. What's the stock that moves a ton? Just like stocks that just move a lot. You know, they have ups and downs so much. They move by high percentages, typically smaller stocks. And when you look at these, if you stay clear of them, you're less likely to get hurt. But if you kind of pick the right ones and you spend a conservative amount of time on the things you're not good at, or the riskier things for you specifically, you can get huge upside from it. And that's kind of what you want to get. You want to be able to get that huge upside. That's what everything is about. It's about minimizing risk and increasing return. And that's what it's about. Like, think about risk management as not getting hurt. Like, you know, not squatting more than you should, not doing more volume than you should, sleeping when you're supposed to, getting enough food like you're supposed to. It's like these variables. This is essentially what your health is, your body is. Having a good long-term approach, that way you can keep building. You know, if you take a lot of risks, or in this case with powerlifting, and lift more weight, lift heavier weight, do too much volume with too high intensity, you run the risk of not just hurting yourself. Let's say you don't hurt yourself. Well, let's say you'll get run down, you get malnourished, you'll overtrain, or you'll get to a point maybe you don't overtrain, but you overreach so much that you essentially lose the motivation. You know, so and when you lose the motivation, that high risk you take of pushing yourself ends up making you not train so hard or stop training altogether, which puts a dent in your training year. But if you just constantly build week after week on a very slow process, what's going to end up happening is you're going to be able to get stronger every week, and you're going to make consistent gains. So instead of having a portfolio that's like up one week or 1 month and down the next, and then you go back up to where you were, it's better to just kind of make gradual gains. Anyways, that's kind of my thought, sharing my ideas. I got more on this topic if you like it. Thanks for watching.